Okay, I've got one set of attitude adjustment thrusters put in place. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest. I may be missing one of these little thruster nozzles. I will scratch build a part or replace it from my own kit. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and add those thruster nozzles. We'll find out where things stand after that and then move forward on to the next thing. Alrighty, so this is the back side of one of the engines I've been running fiber optics through to light. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to paint black all around these fiber optics, then go through and let that totally dry and shoot it with light gray primer and then white to reflect the light. Then I'm going to snip all of the fiber optics off close to but not below the paint line so that all you see is brilliant fiber optics on the exhaust. I'm going to be doing this on all 4 engines. Alrighty, I got 3 out of 4 of the engines totally done with fiber optics. I have to go in behind the fiber optics and paint everything flat black, then shoot everything with primer and flat white after I tape off the ridges where they attach to the actual engines on the model. It's 11:59 going on midnight. By the time I get this movie done, it will be well after midnight, so I'm packing it in for the evening because it probably won't be till 1 or 2 until I'm done. There will be more coming up this week or early next week. I'm doing the best I can to get all of this moving along. I will be showing some other model work as soon as possible. There you go. Okay, as you can see, I got all of the thruster nozzles, the attitude adjustment thruster nozzles in place. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, well, there were more than enough nozzles, it appears. At any rate, I got that done. I'm going to move back onto the engines, and we'll see this in just a minute. Okay, so I've added this missing piece, and I've added the tail end. I guess these are antenna. You can clearly see this is going to need some putty work. That's the thing about this. I don't know why they designed it this way, frankly. There's a seam that runs all along here, down here, all the length of the main fuselage and underneath. I'm working on my own 42-inch version of this model. It's going to be half prototyped, half scratch built, and I'm going to build it a lot differently. Much easier to hide the seams and to give you a good, honest, decent looking kit, complete with interior lighting, proper decals, etc. Anyway, I got this lined out for now. This has got to dry. I'm going to go ahead and paint the details that go around here, glue them into place, and then get on this lower wing section. Alright, so I've got this piece attached. I've got this masked off to paint. I've got the wings shot with primer. I've got this mask to paint. So I'm going to paint all those parts and then pull out the interior parts. Alright, so I've got it masked off to my satisfaction. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it with light gray, let that dry, and then mask off this main runway and shoot everything else with white. Okay, I've got these parts prepped and ready to shoot with flat white / gloss white. These interior door hatches, I'm going to have to carefully mask those. There's some black detail, some gray detail, and some white. I will show that in screen captures another day. This is the cabin door, I guess, for the cockpit and interior cockpit parts. I'm going to go back and refer to the directions and the movie before I do anything else, especially to the main cockpit cabin. I want to get this 100% right, and when you look in the windows or into the interior, it will be accurate. I may even have to come up with some decals that they didn't include for these interior parts. No decals, no decals. Yeah, anyway, I want to be really precise with the interior parts. So this is going to take a little longer than I anticipated. Let me go ahead and shoot these parts and shoot the other parts with flat white. Okay, I cannot shoot the interior yet of this with white. I have to wait for this light gray to dry, then mask over it. I shot these parts with the first couple of light coats of gloss white. I'm going to have to let that set up because I don't want to overdo it. I want to see the detail in here, the ridges, etc. And I'll probably pull this off, let it dry separate from these, and then reshoot these with a couple more light coats to get full coverage over that darker gray primer. Anyway, as far as today, I'm just about as far as I can go with this until this paint sets up. So let's look at the A-wing, which I haven't shown in a year. Alrighty, so here is the main interior for the passenger cabin. As you can see, it is 3 different colors, not including the black seats. So this is pretty much almost exactly what you see in the movie. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scrape where each one of the chairs go and glue the chairs into position. And then this portion of the passenger cabin will be done. Then I'm going to focus on the interior. As you can see here, I've got the front wall and the back wall right here, whichever one is which. I want to make sure I get them right, so I'm going to go look at 2001: A Space Odyssey again, because I think there's like a black gasket around the door, and then a light gray area, and then white, and then of course wherever the screens are, I'm going to make sure to get high-res pictures of that so I can come up with the graphics that are missing. And this is the interior of the cabin. I'm going to be working on both sections of that, or all sections of that. That will be next. Alright, as you see here, these are the exterior details. I painted them flat white. I don't have to worry about light blocking them because the interior is going to be light blocked. Plus, there isn't going to be a lot of light back in this area except for the yellow engine lights. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I can't put these on until I'm ready to do final assembly. I have to put the 2 halves of the forward passenger cabin and cockpit and then the rear engineering section together and finish all that up and putty, primer, paint, sand, etc. So anyway, these are going to go on the exterior when it's done. I'm going to be showing pieces of the rest of the exterior right now. And there you have it. Now this is just the forward section of the fuselage with the cockpit and the passenger cabin, but that's all that's going to be lit anyway. As you can see, there's so much light, the camera is having difficulty focusing. So anyway, imagine how sharp this model is going to be looking on a stand, with completely finished, with all the decals that were not included in the kit, a little weathering, some dry brushing, more detail, more power. Alright, I'm going to show you some other lighting real quick, and then I'm going to wrap this up. This is one of Admiral Quirk's quickies. It's not going to last forever. Thank you. Thank you very much.